Alright, so for tonight's homework, we're going to focus on numbers 3 and 6. Starting with number 3, the problem reads y equals negative 5x plus 9. Part A, complete the table and graph. Alright, so first off, if you'll notice, it has an x and a y. We're working with ordered pairs. We do not have anything for the x or the y. There are no numbers there, so what we have to do is we actually have to come up with our own numbers. Okay, and for the purpose of this problem, we're going to go ahead and select numbers that we can graph. So we need to make sure that when we substitute in, we can graph. And I've already worked through a couple of scenarios real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with the numbers 0, 1, and 3. And I'm not choosing 2 because I do want some numbers that are not necessarily close together. All right, so again, in our chart, and I'm going to use a separate sheet so that I have a little bit of room to do the work so that we can figure out what the y is. So when we do this, I am asking when x equals 0, what is the value of y? So when x equals 0, what is the value of y? We're going to substitute in negative 5 times 0 plus 9. That gives us 0 plus 9, because negative 5 times 0 is 0. Anything times 0 is 0. And that gives me y is equal to 9. So we're going to have 9. I'm going to go back to the other chart real quickly. Put a 9 up there before I forget. All right. Second one that we're going to do, we're going to look at what it is when x is equal to 1. So I'm going to go through the same steps. Y is equal to negative 5 times 1 plus 9. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. That gives me positive 4. All right. So I'm going to put a 4 in there. And again, I'm going to go ahead and go back and fill it in on the chart. 1, 4, or the table. Right. And then the last value that I'm looking at 3. So I'm going to do y equals negative 5 times 3 plus 9, which is negative 15 plus 9. So y equals negative 6. We'll put negative 6 across from the 3 in our chart. And same thing here. All right. So now we've got our table completed, and we're going to go ahead and graph. Right. And we'll notice when we try to graph 0, 9, that means we don't move left or right any on the x-axis. We're going to go up 9, and if we count it out, there's actually only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is actually up here off the chart. Okay. We can graph 1, 4. We're going to go right 1, go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And when we're doing this, we're always starting from the origin. So when we graph 3, negative 6, we're going to start at the origin, go right 1, 2, 3, then go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We end up there at 3, negative 6. This one was our order pair 1, 4, and of course 0, 9 was up top. Okay. Next thing we need to do, since we are graphing an equation, is go ahead and draw a line through it. So you do this, we're going to go ahead and draw our line through it. And there's our line. Okay. Part B in this problem, what is the slope? Okay. And since we're kind of new to slope, we're just going to look at it from the standpoint of rise over rise. Okay. So I'm going to use this order pair and this order pair. We could use the slope formula if we knew that, but we'll talk about that more at another time. Well, when we start from the top point, and we're always going to start from the leftmost point, which in this case is our 1, 4. We're going to go down, and then we're going to go over. And the question is, how many spaces do we move down? How many spaces do we move over? In this case, we went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We went over 1, 2. Since we went down, our slope is negative. Okay. And since we went to the right, it's positive 2. And this simplifies to negative 5. And if you'll notice, the equation, we did have a -5 in front of our x. That was our slope. Does the graph increase or decrease? Since this is going down to the right, definitely decrease. The x-intercept. The x-intercept is going to be where it crosses the x-axis, which it looks like it might be 2, but it's actually not quite 2, all right? It's not perfectly touching. All right, so when we look at the x-intercept, what we're looking for is what is the value of x when y equals 0, okay? So y equals 0. We're going to substitute that in and solve. 0 is equal to -5x plus 9. Okay. If we're solving that equation, we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. We end up with -9 is equal to -5x. And then we're going to divide by -5. And when we divide by -5, we end up with x is equal to 9/5. So the x-intercept is going to be 9/5, 0. Okay. The y-intercept is going to be where this crosses the y-axis. So that's at the order pair 0, 9. Alright, in problem number 6, you're being asked to solve for y, and we have x plus 3y is equal to 6. So we're going to take this and solve this for y. I'm going to rewrite it. First thing we need to do is subtract x from both sides. And that's going to give us 3y equals -x plus 6. We're going to divide everything by 3. When we do that, we end up with y is equal to -x over 3 plus 2. So we're going to take that, and I'm just going to copy and paste it back into this problem. And that way we have, well, don't want that to move. Okay. So there's the equation we're working with. Now we need to complete the table. All right, and since we have a 3 on the bottom here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using values of, or multiples of 3, so that our numbers will come out evenly. All right? We're going to use -3, 0, and 3, and then we're going to do the same thing as we did in number 3. So I'm going to work through this a little bit quicker. -1/3 times -3 plus 2. That gives us 1 plus 2, which is 3. Okay, we do the same thing with our 0. -1/3 times 0 plus 2. 0 plus 2, y is equal to 2. And this is y equals -1/3 times 1, or I'm sorry, times 3. Plus 2. Let me erase that. So that should have been 3. Okay. So that would give us -1 plus 2, which is 1. So we're going to have 3, 2, and 1 there. Go back to the original problem. 3, 2, and 1. Again, it says to complete the table in graphs, so now we need to graph these order pairs. -3, 3, we go left 3, up 3, put a point. Okay, we're going to go 0, 2, we don't go left or right any, we go up 2. And then 3, 1, we're going to go right 3 and up 1. So this is 3, 1, this is 0, 2, and this would be -3, 3. Again, it's an equation, so we're going to go ahead and put a line through the ordered pairs. There's our line. What's the slope of the line? Slope of the line is going to end up, we're going to have to use our rise over run again, so that's down 1 over 3. So the slope is going to be -1/3. Does it increase or decrease? It's going down to the right, so we're decreasing. And our x-intercept and y-intercept. X, where it crosses the x-axis, that would be the order pair 6, 0. And then the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, would be the order pair 0, 2. Don't forget, you can always fast forward, rewind, pause, whatever you need to do. There's 3 and 6.